switching gears a little bit, the anniversary of the April 27th tornadoes is coming up. Just kind of talk about your initiative, Bow Bikes Bama, and help raise money for those victims that are affected.
Bow Bikes Bama, I came up with this idea at the end of last summer. Talked to my wife about it. She thought I lost my mind. Like she didn't want to tell about any harebrained scheme that I'm coming with, but she softened up and gave me the green light. And the first thing that I did was I contacted people and companies that I do business with first. And I contacted Nike. Nike got on board with it. I called a good buddy of mine. I called Lance Armstrong out of Austin, Texas, since he probably knows more about bicycles. Like we know the Heisman, he knows bicycles and riding, and so I called him, and he and his company CSC, which is Capital Sports and Entertainment, they came on board. Lance people introduced me to the company that builds his race bikes, track bicycles. Went to Waterloo, Wisconsin, sat down and talked with the owner, and the owner jumped in with both feet and said, we will supply you with bicycles and everything that you need. We'll help out with the logistics and so forth and so on. From there, last fall, I don't know if it was the South Carolina or the Georgia game, right afterwards, I went to Montgomery and met with the governor and talked to the governor about what I wanted to do, and the governor jumped on board 100%. Anything that I can do, Bo, to help you with this, just let me know and we will make it happen. Alabama, I am an Alabamian. I live in Illinois, but this is home for me. I've always said that I am my brother's and my sister's keeper, and I mean that. A year ago, April 27th was a devastating day for the state. We lost almost 300 people in a devastating storm. It has happened. You can't control nature. You can't follow nature. And I figure that a good way to honor those Alabamians that lost their lives, and at the same time raise money for the awareness of tornadoes. A good thing to do was get on my bike and ride across the state to raise money. And that's where the Bow Bikes Bama came from. We have a lot of companies that have come on board. I have a lot of friends that are going to come and ride with me on any given day. To name a few, let me see, where can I start? Ex-downhill skier, Peekaboo Streak is going to ride with us. We got ex-Heisman Trophy, former Heisman Trophy winner Eddie George. I have Ken Griffey Jr., who's going to be in the Hall of Fame someday, and baseball is going to ride with me. I have Ray Lewis going to come in and ride with me. Lance Armstrong is going to come and ride in one day with me. There's a host of people. Ex-Olympic and world record holder triple jump Al Joyner is going to fly in from California to ride with me. They say a man can judge his wealth by the acceptance that he gets from his peers. And I consider myself a very, very wealthy man at this point, because every friend and associate that I've called to ask to come and join me on this ride, they have made plans to. So the ride will start on the 24th of April in Henniger, Alabama, and we'll go through towns like Gunnersville, Jasper, Coleman, Bessemer, and in Tuscaloosa, of all places. And the reason that we're ending there, because that's what the country saw. That's where most of the damage and the most loss of life was in that area. And once we get about 3.5 miles outside of once we get about 3.5 miles from our destination, we're going to open the ride up to the public. So anybody with a bicycle that knows how to ride a bicycle, we ask to come out and join. And now, and in closing, I have personally asked everybody that's interested to go to the website look at what we're doing, find it in your heart to donate $1 to this cause. That's all, because I know that most of everybody is going through a hard economic time right now. If you find it in your heart to donate $1 to this cause, I know the families that these monies are going to help out with the rebuilding of their lives will very much appreciate it. Thank you.
We got time for a couple quick more.
Cam, now that you're in the league and in the locker room talking to guys on other teams, how much is the Heisman even brought up, or you talk more about the national title than the award?
Well, in the locker room, wherever you go, it's all about representation. And the more people you have from your school, the better. Because, last year, or, you just go back to games that everybody, remembered, and that's all they talk about. And, just as much as of an impact, Auburn has done for me, every Saturday, I was in that team hotel glued to the tube, trying to find out what in the world we were doing, so I can have bragging rights. But the Heisman is mentioned. It's not as mentioned as much as overall team success is, and it was a good thing that we won a national championship my year, so I could load a little bit.
How would you assess yourself as an NFL quarterback right now after 1 year, and what do you want to try to improve on?
It's a lot that I feel like I could get better at. With reviewing all the games from last year, it's I feel that the improvement is through the roof for me. Having the whole off season to work on the things that I feel like I need to get better at will come to fruition. And with the upcoming OTAs, I feel like that's another time that I feel like I can get better at.
Take one more.
Cam, you got, first off, can you talk about maybe your evolution of maybe speaking more, doing more for your foundations, the stuff that you've done that maybe you didn't have the time to, as a rookie quarterback, and also Steve Smith may not be a statue, but you got him for another few years, so that's pretty good.
Well, let's Smitty talk. He is a statue. But having him back is a big thing for not only me, as my whole evolution is going to change. To have his leadership there, but for the whole team. We need Smitty, not for what he does at the receiver position, but the leader that he is. Well, how much he holds everybody accountable, and also that person that he looks into the mirror himself. I'm excited for him. But as far as my foundation is concerned, man, my whole focus is to have make a better opportunity for a child. I understand that every kid in America does not, or is not faced with, what another kid is faced with. Some have it better, some doesn't. And for the kids that do not, I'm trying to fill that void.